Hello people, it's Wild Kim here. I hope you are all safe and well and looking after yourselves and keeping busy in these sort of quite strange times really. Now I promised people, because I had loads of requests saying can I do some videos, can I maybe do some live streaming and show you some of the amazing animals. So basically do a bit of really wild learning, but basically do it maybe from home because it's really important that we are self-isolating, that we're doing all the things we should be doing, washing our hands, etc, etc. So I thought maybe I'd start off by giving you a little bit of a tour. Now this isn't a tour of all of the animals, this is just a tour of one room of animals that I have. This is where I keep the animals that are more delicate, that maybe wouldn't be suitable to go out and about with me. They are delicate, maybe some of them are endangered. So I thought maybe I'd show you some of these animals in video, and then maybe we'll show you some other things. Maybe we'll do some live streaming at some stage in the future. Maybe we will do individual animal talks, maybe even some fun activities. So most of the animals you probably won't recognise, but you might recognise a few favourites. So for example, in this room, my friend Gino lives. I'll bring the camera over here so we can see Gino, okay? Hello Gino. Now, but I expect lots of you are missing Gino because he's one of our favourites. I might have to give him some breakfast. So we give Gino some breakfast? Let's just see if he's hungry. He probably is. Gino. Hello. What's this, my friend? There you go. Oh, was that nice? Oh, it's gross. Look, there's half of it there. Let's see if he finishes that off. He doesn't waste anything, which is really important because that's what we're saying to our kids at the minute. We have to eat all your food and not waste anything, which is really important. Now, he lives in this big vivarium here. This is his home, okay? Now, if I move around a little bit, I might be able to show you some more animals. Now, on my desk at the minute, there are some tiny, tiny fire belly toads, which you probably can't see, which basically I've reared up from tadpoles, and they are really, really cool. They're called toads, but they're actually frogs. They're really related to bullfrogs, things like that. They're an amazing species. They have bright colours like they're poisonous, but because of the diet, they're not actually poisonous. A bit like dart frogs, which we'll move on to. Now, just down here are my tortoises, Winnie and Hilda. Now, Winnie and Hilda are normally outside in the day, so they'll be going outside in a minute, and they've been enjoying the sunshine, so they've been basically making the most of the sunshine outside, eating lots of dandelions, things like that. But at the minute our nighttime temperatures are too cold for them to stay out, so at the minute they come in at night and they stay either in this vivarium, or we have a tortoise table as well that they sometimes sit in. They can dig around and sleep, and then they'll be going out in a minute, so they are looking super duper healthy. The problem is, you know, where they live in the Mediterranean, the summer is longer than where it is here, so our summers are too short. So tortoises, if you keep a tortoise, you can't just chuck it in the garden and leave it. You've got to have somewhere inside for it, because basically there isn't enough, our summers aren't long enough to keep them warm. So in this tank here is one of my favourite geckos, who's quite sleepy and hides most of the time. It does occasionally come out, which is Mossy the Chikuwa. And the Chikuwa is basically very closely related to a Crested Gecko. They're New Caledonian geckos, which mean they come from little islands just off Australia. I'm going to do a video on them soon because we have some breeding. Okay, I'll move on to this tank. Now, in this tank are the Crested Geckos. And you probably have seen Pepper do his amazing jump. Pepper's probably in here. Pepper! He sleeps just underneath, that's his chin just there. He's sleeping that way. He always turns his back round, so if I turn it around this way, in fact I'll lift it off carefully so you can have a little proper look. Oh, Pepper. Here's Pepper, my friend. Looking amazing as usual. There's Pepper. Good morning, Pepper. And then I'll put that back very carefully in a minute, so I'll just lift it back there, because we all know the Crested Geckos have a very delicate tail, don't they? Good morning, my friend. How are you? Yeah, he's very good. He's lovely, absolutely lovely. And he's brilliant because he does come out and about. Now, again, in another video, just in these tanks are lots of baby Crested Geckos. So we might do something on that soon, but I'm going to move down here. This is where my white tree frogs live. There is Smiley, Jabber, and lots of other ones that all live, and they love to sleep in the tube. Occasionally, if we chirp like that, they bark back, but I expect they won't do it today. But they're just there. Can you see the top head of Smiley there? Hello? Now these guys are nocturnal, so they're asleep in the day, so they tend to wake up at night, and then they do bark, and they can be really noisy, so I have to make sure they're not too noisy, otherwise they'll wake up my children. Right, moving on. Let's come to this end. So this is where things get really exciting, because these are where I keep lots of my dart frogs. Now, let's start with this one. In here are Dendrobates, Tinctorius, citronella. They are basically called citronellas because they've got the yellow on them. They are amazing little dart frogs. Again, I will do a separate video because I've got lots of these guys breeding. But they sit in these naturalistic enclosures. So these enclosures that basically what we call bioactive. They rot down. You can see the different layers here. You can see the root systems of all the plants. And it's basically like a mini chunk of rainforest all in one enclosure. So you can see they're out all day because, again, they think that they are very poisonous. They think that nothing can touch them and they are invincible because and they have these bright colours to warn us. But actually, in captivity, they don't eat the same diet. They don't have the type of ants or invertebrates that have these poisons, these alkalines that they can put in their skin. So in other words, we feed them fruit flies and crickets and they look very poisonous and they look amazingly coloured, but they are completely harmless. Now, let's do all the dart frogs, shall we? Since one of the dart frogs. In here are my bumblebee dart frogs, or Dendrobates, Tinctorius, Leucomelas. Now, there are several of these. These guys get on really well. So what we find is that the citronellas and another type that I'll show you in a minute only live really well in pairs or threes. These guys live really well in groups. So you can see there's one hiding at the back. There's one here. Hello there. Uh-oh. Help. We have a problem. So they do this all the time. Every time I open up the tank, they try and almost escape. And obviously they're so delicate that, oh, look, there's another one coming out. These guys literally follow me around and try and escape all the time. What I have to do is basically trust that they're not going to jump down and just wait. Come on. 3. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Aren't they amazing? All right. Should we stick with the dart frog theme? Yeah, why not? Next one is in here. Oh, except there's none of these guys out. These are one of my first dart frogs I ever kept. They are Dendrobates, Tinctorius, Azurus. And the Azurus, it means blue in Latin because they are bright blue. There aren't many animals that are blue in the wild, and these guys are stunning. There is one just at the back there. I don't know if you can see him on camera. Probably not. If we wait for a minute, or if I just do something and then wait for a minute and close the door, they're really clever. You can almost train them. Now, they know that the doors opening sometimes means food. So there's a high probability that they're going to come out then, okay? So if they think they're going to get fed, they go, all right, I'll come out. Now, if I just move, this is just an empty pot. But if I move a tub here, where my snails and my tarantulas live, you will see here a tray full of something amazing. These are all my little tadpoles from the Azurus, the blue dart frogs, gradually turning into little froglets. So these guys are pretty well advanced. They have legs. If you have a look at this guy, oh, how cute is that? So his tail is shrinking. He's going to leave the water probably tonight, tomorrow. So I need to get him into another tub. There's another one that's the same there. And there are some that are a bit further away. So this one's just got back legs, no front legs. And again, this one's just got the beginnings of legs there. Aren't they cool? So you have to rear them individually because although in the wild tadpoles, you know, with our common frogs, they rear up in big groups. Unfortunately, they're carnivorous. They'll attack each other. So I rear them in individual pots and I can rear them all up. And then when they turn into froglets, they get on well. Now, let's move on. Okay, this is where things get very exciting and also probably some of the shyest animals, but we'll have a look. So in here, I've got electric blue day geckos, or the Williams eye geckos. Now these guys are critically endangered and the male is absolutely stunning. I'll try and zoom in. Let's see if you can see him. Can you see that? I don't know how well it shows on the camera. The male is bright blue and the females are green. Now these guys are actually critically endangered, as I said. They live in Tanzania. They live in a small rainforest called the Kimboza rainforest. They may even live on a few little trees within that rainforest, so there aren't many of them left. So they are Appendix 1. So you can't breed them and sell them. You basically have to have a license, and then you can sell them, or you can, if you've got the license and the correct paperwork, or you can gift them away to zoos and collections. So they're not just something that you can go into a pet shop and just get hold of because they are so critically endangered. Now, I'm really lucky because I was given a pair. That's the male. I have a couple of females just in this one at the minute, just hiding. And in this one, this is the baby tank. So again, I'll zoom in maybe and see if we can have a little look. So clinging to the top. Hello. Can you see one just up there? There's a baby one and there's another one just behind him. Oh, he's come down to see you. So this is a baby electric blue day gecko, and that you can see how fast they are. Now, if anyone's thinking, have you ever lost them? The answer is yes. Occasionally, I've lost one, it's come out, and they are an absolute pain to find because they are so fast. So you've got to be really careful with those guys. Now, zoom out. Now, I've got lots of other things in here. I'm just wondering if my zeros has come out yet. No, they're still sitting. They tend to like coming out more in the evening, so not so much maybe now. You can see I've got my lovely Life in Cold Blood with Sir David Attenborough there, one of my favourite posters looking at native species. So if I'm out looking for grass snakes and adders, I always look at that. I think, did I find a male? Did I find a female? So I like charts like that. I think they're really cool. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I've got things on the rack and I've got things breeding. I may have even got an incubator down there with some eggs hatching, but I don't want to show you everything because I want some things to be a surprise. You can see Pepper is just chilling out as normal. Look at that. He is Mr. Friendly. He's probably missing doing his big jump because do you remember? He loves to do that jump, don't you, Pepper? Ooh. Pepper loves to do that jump where he jumps at things. So I think he's probably missing seeing everybody, doing his big jump, being stroked, climbing up glass and doing all the cool stuff that he does. That is my tour. I can't switch the camera off now because I've got a gecko on my finger. But I'll put Pepper back. And I'll let all the animals just chill out for the rest of the day. And I'll see you very soon. Now listen, stick to the rules. Stay safe. Remember, this is just for now. I know I have had lots of my work stopped and it's very easy to be a bit doom and gloom. I even had a panic moment the other day when I woke up in the middle of the night and thought, how can I feed my animals? Luckily I've got an ordering of food. Luckily I'm culturing some of my own live foods to make sure everything is fine. So my animals are fine. I may not be out and about showing off the animals, but you can see, even just in this room, I've got so much to do, so many animals to look after, so I still have daily routines and things that put a smile on my face. So for you guys at home, you know, watch things on YouTube, do amazing things, read a book, find out about an animal. There are so many cool things that you can do that we can use the time really positively. So hopefully you can do that. Hopefully I'll see you all very soon. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the office. I have to say, Shelley's quite pleased because normally it's a bit of a mess in here, and because I was going to film it, I thought I'd tidy it up a bit. So that's one good thing. There's always a positive. Every cloud has a silver lining. So let's stay positive. Let's look after each other. Let's stay safe. And I'll see you all very soon. Okay, bye-bye.